ஸ்ரீசைலேச தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாதரம் முனிம் லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம் யோ நித்யமச்சுத பதாம்புஜ யுக்மருக்ம வியாமோஹதஸ்ததிதராணி த்ருணாயமேனே அஸ்மத் குரோர் பகவதோஸ்ய தயைக சிந்தோஹோ ராமானுஜஸ்ய சரணௌ சரணம் பிரபத்யே மாதா பிதா யுவதயஸ்தனயா விபூதிः சர்வம் யதேவ நியமேன மதன்வயானாம் ஆத்யஸ்யனः குலபதேர் பகுலாபிராமம் ஸ்ரீமத் ததங்கிரியுகலம் பிரணமாமி மூர்த்னா பூதம் சரஸ்ச மகதாஹ்வய பட்டநாத ஸ்ரீ பக்திசார குலசேகர யோகிவாஹான் பக்தாங்கிரேணு பரகால யதீந்திரமிஸ்ரான் ஸ்ரீமத் பராங்குசமுனிம் பிரணதோஸ்மி நித்யம். கண்ணார் கடல் போல் திருமேனி கரியாய் நன்னார் முனை வெண்ணி கொள்வார் மன்னு நாங்கூர் திண்ணார் மதில் சூழ் திருவெள்ளக்குளத்துளண்ணா அடியேனிடரை களையாயே. உலகமுண்ட பெருவாயா உலப்பில் கீர்த்தியம்மானே நிலவும் சுடர் சூழொளி மூர்த்தி நெடியாய் அடியேனாருயிரே திலதமுலகுக்காய் நின்று திருவேங்கடத்தெம்பெருமானே குலதொல் அடியேன் உனபாதம் கூடுமாறு கூறாயே. தாயே தந்த என்னும் தாரமே கிளை மக்கள் என்னும் நோயே பட்டொழிந்தேன் உன்னை காண்பதோராசையினால் வேயை பூம்பொழில் சூழ் விரையார் திருவேங்கடவா நாயேன் வந்தடைந்தேன் அடியேனை ஆட்கொண்டருளே. ஆழ்வார்கள் வாழி அருளிச் செயல் வாழி தாழ்வாதுமில் குரவர் தாம் வாழி ஏழ்பாறு முய்ய அவர்கள் உரைத்தவைகள் தாம் வாழி செய்ய மறை தன்னுடனே சேர்ந்து ஸ்ரீ கர்கவம்ச கலச்சார்ணவ பூர்ணச்சந்திரம் ஸ்ரீ வெங்கடாரிய குருவர்ய தனூஜரத்னம் தஸ்மாத் அவாப்த நிகமாந்த ரகசியஜாலம் ஸ்ரீமத் ஸ்தலேசய குரும் சததம் பஜாமி. ஸ்ரீமன் நாராயணா, out of his immense compassion, gives us all his sevai in the archa rupams, that is the idol forms. The places where in these idol forms the Alvars have done Mangala Sasanams are called the Divyadesams, and we have been enjoying the glory of these Divyadesams for the past several months. Today we are going to enjoy this Divyadesam called Thiruvellakulam or Annan Koil. Along with Thiruvellakulam and Annan Koil, we will also very briefly touch upon the glory of Thiruvenkatam or Thirumalai Tirupati. And Adiyan will explain why. Today is the auspicious day of Kanya Shravanam. In Tamil, Purattasi Thiruvonam. The nakshatram Thiruvonam is of very special significance. Thiruvonam is the nakshatram of Thiruvenkatamudayan, of Srinivasan. It is also the nakshatram of the Alvar, Poigai Alvar. Not only that, Thiruvonam is also the nakshatram of the Acharyas, Pillai Lokacharyar and Vedantacharyar, who is fondly called Swami Desikan. And of that, Thiruvonam Nakshatram, Purattasi Thiruvonam is even more special. The reason being, Purattasi Thiruvonam is the Thirunakshatram of Venkatanathan. It is the Thirunakshatram of Srinivasa, Venkatamudayan, and also the Thirunakshatram of Swami Desikan. Purattasi Thiruvonam. So on this day, it is very apt for us to enjoy the glories of Srinivasa. But since we have already talked about the glories of Thirumalai, Tirupati, Thiruvenkatam earlier this year, we will just briefly touch upon. In general, one would get tired of having the same thing over and over again. But this does not apply to Perumal, because he is Tigattada Amudam, Tenilum Tigattada Amudam. So, no matter how many times we enjoy his glories and the glories of the Kshetrams, it is not going to bore us at all. Hence, today we will talk a little bit about Thiruvenkatam, and then go and enjoy the glories of this Divyadesam called Thiruvellakulam or Annan Koil. Now the name Annan Koil means the temple of the brother, of the older brother. Annan Koil. So why is this name Annan Koil? It is said that the Perumal here, Annan Koil, he is supposed to be the older brother of Lord Srinivasa. That is, திருமலை திருப்பதியில எந்த பெருமாள் இருக்காரோ அந்த பெருமாளுக்கு இவர் அண்ணன். திருமங்கை ஆழ்வார் fondly calls him as திருவெள்ளக்குளத்துள் அண்ணா அடியேன் இடரை களையாயே. அண்ணா என்று திருமங்கை ஆழ்வார் அழைப்பதனால், because திருமங்கை ஆழ்வார் calls him as அண்ணா, he becomes Annan Perumal, and it is said that he is also the brother of Thiruvenkatam. So it is also said that one can do the prarthanais for Thiruvenkatamuttayan in the Thiruvellakulam Divyadesam, which is called Annan Koil. And Puratasi Thiruvonam is the Thirunakshatram of Annan Perumal also. So on this Puratasi Thiruvonam day, we will take a look at both of these Divyadesams. Thiruvellakulam is one of the Cholanattu Divyadesams. And even within Cholanadu has 40 Divyadesams, out of which there is this place called Tirunangur. And in Tirunangur, there are several Divyadesams. And Annan Perumal or Annan Koil, Thiruvellakulam, is one of the foremost of those Tirunangur Divyadesams. This is about 10 kilometers from the Sirgari railway station and is on the Sirgari to Tarangampadi road. Okay. It is one of the 11 Tirunangur Divyadesams and called as 10 Tirupati. And prarthanas that are made to Tirumalai are completed here by many people, as explained before. Now, the Alvar who has done Mangala Sasanam to this Divyadesam is Thirumangai Alvar. He has offered 10 Pasurams to Thiruvellakulam. In the Periya Tirumoli, which is composed by Thirumangai Alvar, in the 4th centum, the 7th decade is dedicated to Annan Perumal. The Perumal here has the name Srinivasan, Kannan, Narayanan or Annan Perumal. The Tayar is Alarmel Mangai. You can immediately fondly remember Alarmel Mangai Tayar in Thiruvenkatam, also who is in Thiruvenkatam. Utsavar is Padmavati Tayar, and she also has the name Poovar Thirumamagal, because Alvar refers to her as Poovar Thirumamagal. He refers to Perumal as Poovar Thirumamagal Pulgiya Deva. Perumal is in the Nindra Thirukolam or the standing posture. The Pushkarini here is called Sveta Pushkarini. And the Divyadesam itself gets its name Thiruvellakulam because of the Pushkarini. And there's a very beautiful story around it, and we will take a very quick look at the story. The Vimanam is called Tattvatyotaka Vimanam. And the Perumal here has given his sevai, or he is pratyaksham to Svetarajan and Rudran. So the story about Svetarajan, let's talk about that. In the Ikshvaku dynasty, prior to the times of Sri Rama, there was a king called Dundukumaran. He was considered one of the sons of Surya, and he had a son called Svetan. When Svetan was about 9 years old, he was predicted to pass away by the Jyotishas or the astrologers. So then the king was very sad, and then he went and consulted with his Kula Guru Vasishta. So Vasishta said the king Dundukumaran, he should take his son Svetan to this kshetram which is going to be in the future called Thiruvellakulam or Annan Koil. He should go there and he should perform tapas there. So Dundukumaran brings the son Svetan to this place, and here they come and they take there are many rishis who are performing tavams. So he goes and surrenders to them, and he takes a mantra upadesam. He takes that mantra upadesam, and then he goes to the Pushkarini which is there, which is called currently it's called Annan Koil. So he goes to the south side of that Pushkarini, and then there under a vilva tree he stays and he performs the tapas. So he performs the tapas starting from the Aipasi Masam Sukla Paksha Dasami Tithi to the Kartigai Masam Sukla Paksha Ekadasi Tithi. For 1 month he does the tapas. So at the end of that month, Sri Mahavishnu, Sriman Narayana, he appears and he gives him a boon, and then he chases away the Marana Bayam, the Kandam, the Marana Kandam, and then just like how he enabled Shiva to protect or to extend the life of Markandeya, he gives a long life to Shwetan also. Now Shwetan, he takes a dip in the Pushkarini there. So Shwetam means white. Shweta means white. Since Shwetan took a dip in this Pushkarini here, the Pushkarini became to be called as Sweta Pushkarini. So in Tamil it became called Thiruvellakulam. That is the white Pushkarini, white pond. So that became the name for this Divya Desam also. So this Divya Desam Thiruvellakulam has one more specialty, which is we've been talking about Thirumangai Alvar for the last 2 or 3 Divya Desams. We talked about Thirukannapuram, we talked about Tirunarayur. Thirukannapuram is the Divya Desam where Thirumangai Alvar was given the Thirumantra Artham by Sauri Raja Perumal. Tirunarayur Perumal is the Perumal who did the Pancha Samskaram, the Samashrayanam Pancha Samskaram for Thirumangai Alvar. We saw that. Now this Kshetram Thiruvellakulam, it actually forms the basis for all of that. And if you want to know why, here's the reason. Now why did Thirumangai Alvar go to Tirunarayur Perumal and ask him to do Pancha Samskaram? It is because Kumudavalli Nachiyar, she said, hey, I will only marry you if you are going to meet these 2 conditions, right? The 2 conditions were you should perform, you should surrender to Perumal, you should take upon the Pancha Samskaram, you should receive Pancha Samskaram, and the other condition was that he should do the Tadiya Radhanam to 1,000 Sri Vaishnavas every day for a complete year. So this Thiruvellakulam Kshetram, that is the place of none other than Kumudavalli Nachiyar. Now Kumudavalli Nachiyar, she was a damsel, she was a Devalokatha Sri, she was a heavenly angel. So in those days, the heavenly angels, they used to come very freely to this Bhulokam, and they would go about doing their things, they would do whatever they wanted to do. They perhaps still do it, perhaps we are the ones who cannot see them anymore. But in those days, they used to do it. So, Kumudavalli Nachiyar, she used to come here, and she came here along with the other heavenly ladies, and she used to play in the Pushkarini, in the Thiruvellakulam, the Sweta Pushkarini here. So, once when she had such a visit, the remaining Devastris, they went back, but she did not go back. There is a story that says that she was seen by one of the people of this earth, so she lost the ability to go back. So she was here, and there was a Vaidyar in this place who adopted her and raised her as his own daughter. Now, he was very devoted to Sriman Narayana, and he followed the Sri Vaishnava practices. So, he raised Kumudavalli also as a perfect devotee of Sriman Narayana. Now, she was very, very beautiful. She was a very heavenly lady, right? So, she was very beautiful. And Neelan or Kaliyan, as he was called, as Thirumangai Alvar was called before he became an Alvar, before he came under the grace of Sriman Narayana, he chanced upon her, he looked at her and he fell in love. He wanted to get married to her. So he went and proposed to the Vaidyar to the adopted father, to the father, and said, can I please have your daughter in marriage? So the father said, well, if she is willing to, if Kumudavalli is willing to marry you, then you can have her. So the question was posed to Kumudavalli, and Kumudavalli said, I will marry you only upon these two conditions. So this kshetram is where all of that happened. Then it is because of her prerequisites that Kaliyan or Neelan, he went and he transformed and he came under the grace of Sriman Narayana. He went and got his Panchasamskaram. He did the Thadiyaradhanam. And in the process of the Thadiyaradhanam, he stole a lot. He did all of that. More on Thirumangai story another time. And then eventually came and married Kumudavalli in this kshetram. Kumudavalli Nachiyar in this kshetram. So Thirumangai is considered the Maapillai, the son-in-law for this kshetram. In Tirunangur, there is the Pannandu Garuda Sevai, the 12 Garuda Sevai that happens every year during Thai Amavasai. So, Thirumangai does Mangala Sasanams to all the Emperumans who appear in Garuda Seva, and then upon returning, before he returns back to his Asthanam, which is in Vayalali, in Tiruvali Tirunagari, he makes a stop here to Thiruvellakulam, where he is treated as the Maapillai here. So now back to the glories of the Annan Perumal. In the first Pasuram for this Divyadesam, Thirumangai says, Kannar kadal pol Tirumeni kariyai, Nannar munai venni kolvar mannanangur, Tinnar madulsur Thiruvellakulathulanna, Adiyen idarai kalayaye. Adiyen idarai kalayaye. Idar means distress, tunbam. Idarai kalayaye, which means remove it. Kalai eduppadu appadina remove, de-weeding, removing the weeds. Just like how we go and remove all the weeds from our beautiful yard, or at least we try to make our yard look beautiful, and in the process we spend so many hours trying to remove the weeds, right? But here, Alvar is not trying to do all of that work. He is just looking up to the grace of Sriman Narayana and says, Anna, Thiruvellakulatthul Anna, Adiyen idarai kalayaye. Please remove my idar, remove my distress. What is Alvar's idar here? Alvar finds himself in this samsaram. That is his idar. This samsaram where all of the senses are trying to pull him in multiple directions. He does not want that. Instead, what does he want? He wants to be with Perumal and the Nitya Suris in Sri Vaikuntham. He wants to be with Sriman Narayana. So he says, can you please remove this idar? And then he says, hey, if you are unable to remove my distress, then I can understand. But it's not like that. For you, nothing is impossible. For Sriman Narayana, everything is possible. When that is the case, why should I miss out on all of that fun? The fun here is performing Kainkaryam and being with Sriman Narayana and his devotees. That is the fun. So he wants that. So he says, please remove this Prakriti Sambandham, which means please remove this association with everything material here. So he prays for that. He says, Kannar kadal pol Tirumeni kariyai. Kannar kadal pol, which means Emperuman's Tirumeni is like that of the Kadal, which is the sea. So there are two meanings that are given here. He says, so Kannar kadal pol, the kadal pondra Tirumeni unakku edukku irukku? Why do you have this kadal pondra, the ocean like Tirumeni? It is because it provides the cooling effect, the soothing effect. So since we are in the samsaram, we are undergoing a lot of tapam. It is to the tapattai tanippadarkaga. It is to subdue all of that tapam that you are here. That is why you have such Tirumeni. So in that case, you have to please rectify all of this tapam. Why haven't you rectified yet? The other meaning is Kannar Kadal Pol. That is one who looks at the ocean, they cannot take their eyes off the ocean because the ocean is so magnificent, it's so majestic. Like that, you are so beautiful. You're so majestic. I can't take my eyes off. So, such Kannar Kadal Pol Thirumeni Kariyai, or one who has Thirumeni like that. Since Alvar says Thiruvellakulattul Anna Adiyen Idarai Kalayaye, the Perumal came to be called Annan Perumal, and the Koil and Divya Desam came to be called Annan Koil. The other name is Thiruvellakulam, like we talked about earlier. Next, Alvar says Kondar Tulava Malar Kond Anivani. That is, he says the Tulava Malar. Tulava Malar means the Tulasi Malai, the Tulasi garland. He is wearing that Tulasi garland to signify that. To signify and to tell the whole world that he is a Sarva Rakshakan. If you are not coming to rescue me, then what is the point of you wearing that Tulasi garland? Is the question that Alvar asks. So here in this Divya Kshetram called Thiruvellakulam, Nandada Perumpugal Vediyar Nangur. That is, all of those Vediyars, the people who are very well versed in the Vedas, right? They are here all the time. In such a place, you are doing your Nityavasam, which means you are here forever. It's not like he was there yesterday but not here today. He's always there. He's there patiently waiting for us. So, you should rescue me and remove all of this distress. And this place is Sennar Vanangum Thiruvellakulattul Ninnai. He says, Kundral Kulir Mari Tadutugandane Nannaya Perumbuval Vediyar Nangur Sennar Vanangum Thiruvellakulattul Ninnai Nediyai Adiyen Idar Nike. O Sarveshwara, he says Nediyai Sarveshwara Adiyen Idar Nike, please remove my distress. You are the one who lifted up the Govardhana hill. Kundral Kulir Mari Tadutugandane. So in general, if a person is trying to do something, it has to be within norms, right? So if Perumal is trying to protect, then you would in general expect it to be within some norms. But because he is Perumal, there are no norms. Have we ever heard of anybody? Is it even possible for anybody to use the Malai as a protection, the mountain as a protection? But he does that, right? So, you are able to do such miraculous deeds. So, O Perumale, please come and remove my idar, is Thirumangai Alvar's Prarthanai to Annan Perumal. And here, Alvar says, Sennar Vanangum Thiruvellakulattul Ninnai. So, here in the Vyakyanams, Acharyas have shown us a very beautiful meaning. They say, Senrar Vanangum Thiruvellakulattul Ninnai. That is, everybody can come and offer their respects to you. They can come and surrender to you. You are so easily accessible. And Periyavachan Pillai has given an inner meaning. He says, oh, look at Duryodhana. What did he do? He thought, oh, this Krishna is very partial to the Pandavas. So when Krishna comes to Duryodhana's court, as a messenger, he instructs all of them. He tells all of his people that when Krishna comes, nobody should even stand up. We should not offer him the respect. But what happens? When Krishna enters the court, he is the first one who gets up and just falls on his feet. And everybody does that, right? So, Senrar Vanangum Thiruvellakulattul Nindrai. This is like the leaves that are falling in the fall. This is the perfect season, right? Fall just started. And we are beginning to witness all of the leaves falling and drying out, right? So here Periyavachan Pillai uses this exact example. He says, apparently all of these dry leaves that fell, right? They got together and they said, oh, you know what? This wind, let it blow, but this time we are not going to fly. We are going to resist that wind. Is it even possible? The wind blows just like the storm that we had this week. And all of those fallen leaves, they flew everywhere, right? They were not in their control. Like that, it is like the sankalpam, or it is like the wish of these fallen leaves that want to resist the wind. That is how Duryodhana's wishes. But everybody சென்றார் எல்லாரும் வணங்கான் என்ற திருவெள்ளக்குளம். That is, he says, everybody who comes, right, they will come and offer their respects, they will come and offer their obeisances to the Perumal in Thiruvellakulam. And in such Thiruvellakulam, the Vediyar who are here, or the Vedic people, they are Nanavagai Nallavar Manniya Nangur. The Nanavagai means 4 types of goodness happen to them, which is Janmam, Vruddham, Jnanam, and Anpillaitanam. So they have all the goodness from all of these, and such Nallavargal, such good people are situated here in Tirunangur at all times. Next, Alvar says, Vedar Thiruvenkatam Meya Vilakke. We already said that Thiruvellakulam Annan Perumal is considered the brother of Thiruvenkatamudayan, right? So he has to naturally draw a connection to Thiruvenkatam. So Thirumangai Alvar says, Vedar Thiruvenkatam Meya Vilakke, Nadar Pugal Vediyar Manniya Nangur, Sedar Pudil Sur Thiruvellakulattai, Pada Varuven Vinayayina Pate. That is, he says, in Thiruvenkatam, it is filled with the Vedargal. The Vedargal means the hunters. So these hunters, they never leave Thiruvenkatam. They are there and they do all of their hunting in Thiruvenkatam. And they are also very, very close. They are very fond. They are very affectionate to Thiruvenkatamudayan. So such Thiruvenkatamudayan, such Perumale, you are here. Nadar Pugal Vediyar Manniya Nangur. So you are here in this Tirunangur, in Thiruvellakulam, and I will come. Pada Varuven. I will keep singing your glories. So when he says Pada Varuven, he refers to one of the Navavida Bhaktis. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam are the 9 forms of Bhaktis. So, Pada Varuven, when he says that, he's talking about the Kirtanam that he will do. That is, he will sing the glories of Thiruvellakulattu Emperuman. So, when Sriman Narayana took the Rama avatar, he went all the way to Sri Lanka, and that too, what did he do? He built a dam, or he built a bridge across the ocean with mere stones. Kallal Kadalai Anaikatti Ugandai. You went and rescued Sita Pirati. So please come and rescue me also, is Alvar's Prarthana here. And when he came as Krishna, he herded all the cows. So he could have done everything that he wanted just by Sankalpam, just by being there from Sri Vaikuntham. But he wanted to mingle with all the Gopikas and the Gopas and the cows. So he took the form of, he took the Krishna Avataram and he came. So he went and herded the cows. It was all hard work. So much hard work he did, when he could have easily avoided all that. So Alvar says, you did all that because you wanted to do it, right? You don't have to work so hard to protect me. It is very, very easy, because Krishna himself has said, Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Masuchaha. So he says, when you've said that, just please come and rescue me and relieve me from all of my distress. You don't have to work like you did in Varaha Avataram, where he was able to dig deep and just rescue the entire Bhuma Devi, entire world, right? He says you don't have to do all that. When you're capable of doing all of that so easily, how hard it is for you to remove my distress. Then Alvar says, okay, Puvar Tirumamagal Pulgiya Marba, because Perumal will do anything only if you take the Purushakaram of Pirati, only if you go with the recommendation of Pirati. So he says, Puvar Tirumamagal Pulgiya Marba, Navar Pugal Vediyar Manniya Nangur, Deva, Thiruvellakulatturevane, Ava Adiyan Ivan en Arulaye. Poovar Tirumamagal is one of the names of Tayar here. He says, when Alvar is in, when Nammalvar sings the glories of Thiruvenkatamudayan, he says, Agalagillen irayumendru alarmel mangai urai marba. That is, he says, Pirati will never leave his Thirumarba even for a second. Agalagillen irayumendru. So here, Thirumangai Alvar says, Poovar Tiruma Magal Pulgiya Marba. So he requests for Sriman Narayana's grace. He says, Adiyan Ivan endru Arulaye. Bless me that Adiyan Ivan. Here is my Adiyan, here is my devotee. Appadinu bless me is the prarthana of Alvar. Then Alvar wraps up by saying, Nallanbudai Vediyar Manniya Nangur Selvan Thiruvellakulam Thuraivanai Kallin Malithol Kaliyan Sonnamalai Vallarana Vallavar Vanavar Dame. That is the one who does the Anusandanam of these 10 pasurams on Thiruvellakulathe, Emperuman, Thiruvellakulam Thuraivanai, Vallar, Kaliyan Sonnamalai, Vallavar, Vallarana Vallavar, Vanavar Dame. That is, they will be able to be along with the Nitya Suris and perform Nitya Kainkaryam to Emperuman. Let us all surrender to Annan Perumal and pray to him to give us Kainkaryam and also devotion, bhakti towards his lotus feet and towards his devotees. Now we've seen Annan Koil, that is the temple of the big brother. So now let's go to the little brother. Who's the little brother? He is Thiruvenkatamudayan. So Thiruvenkatam, the name Venkatam itself means the place that can destroy your papams. Destroy our papams. That's called Thiruvenkatam. In Thiruvenkatam resides or stands the Lord Thiruvenkatamudayan Srinivasan. The mountain originally belongs to Varahaswami, and we all know how Thiruvenkatamudayan came upon here to marry Sri Devi Tayar, to marry Padmavati Tayar, and then he resides there forever to bless us all. So, Thirumangai Alvar, when he goes upon his travels and goes to Thiruvenkatam, he offers 5 continuous decades. He does Mangala Sasanam to Thiruvenkatamudayan. Of that, today we will look at this decade, this padigam called Taye Tandayennum. That starts with this, Taye Tandayennum. It is in the first centum and it is the 9th Tirumuri, the 9th decade. So he says, Taye Tandayennum Tarame Galaimakkalennum Noye Pattolindhen Unnai Kaanbador Asayinal Veyei Poombolil Sol Virayar Thiruvengadava Nayen Mandadaindhen Nalgiyal Ennai Kondal is the Nirupadika Bandhu. What that means is, he is the one who is related to us without any cause or without any reason. He is the only one who is for us at all times. The others are called Abhasa Bandhus, which means that they are Bandhus to us for some reason. It's either Thai, it's either mother, father, husband, wife, son, daughter, grandson, friend, teacher, some reason, right? But Sriman Narayana is the Nirupadika Bandhu. Here Alvar says, oh, I thought that they were my bandhus. Taye, Tandai ennum Tarame, Kilai Makkal ennum, Noye Pattolindhen. Whereas he says, I thought that they were all my bandhus. But now I know that it is you who are my bandhu. Nammalvar also says, Selei Kanniyarum Perenjalvamum Mela Thai Tandayum Avare Ini Avare. And Ramanuja in his Sharanagati Gadhyam says, Tvameva mata cha pitha tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha gurustvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. He says, you are everything, you are our bandhu. Tirumangai Alvar, Nammalvar, all the Alvars, all the Acharyas, that's what they say. So, Tirumangai Alvar goes to surrender to Perumal, and Perumal is not rushing out there. Perumal is not just coming out and then just gladly, fondly taking him and talking to him and all of that. So Alvar thinks this must have happened because I must have done so much of papams. That is the reason why he is not probably coming. But the real reason is that Perumal wants to get all of these songs, all of these pasurams out of him, and he waits for the bhakti to mature, to wait for the bhakti to attain the state called Parama Bhakti. But Alvar cannot bear that separation. So he sings, Taye Tandayennum Tharame Kalaimakkalennum Noye Pattolindhen Unnai Kanbador Asayinal. My desire is to have your sevai. Unnai Kanbador Asayinal. Noye Pattolindhen Unnai Kanbador Asayinal. Veyai Pumbodil Sur Virayar Thiruvenkadava Nayen Vandadaindhen. He says, I have come. I don't have any other gati. Nayen Vandadaindhen Nalgi Ennai Aatkondarule. So please accept me. Here, Periyavachan Pillai gives a nice example. Why does Alvar use the word Nayen Vandadaindhen? Nayen, oh, I am such dog-like. Why did I come? I mean, not why did I come? I am dog-like. I have come to you. So why does he use the example dog? So Periyavachan Pillai says, whatever I have done, right? That is whatever Tirumangai Alvar says, whatever I have done, if you take a look at that, then I'm not qualified to come to you. I'm not qualified for others also. If I go somewhere, they are just going to throw stones at me, just like how they throw stones at a dog. Then I don't belong anywhere. But what do the princes do? The princes, they go and cuddle with the dogs, just like how we have kids in our houses, right? Even though Shastrams have clearly prohibited having dogs as pets, our sons and daughters, they want dogs as pets, right? So here, Periyavachan Pillai says, Rajaputrargal naigalaye mel vilundu virumbuma pole. That is, the princes, they want to go, they want those dogs to cuddle as pets, right? So like that, oh Perumale, you are like the Rajadi Rajan. You should want me, who is like a dog. Alvar says, I have done all kinds of pavams. I've gone after women, right? I've done the Nana with the Naragam Pugum Pavam Seiden. I've done all of these things since I've committed all of these apacharams which can put me into these hell. But you are like the elephant, yen anai. Whenever we look at an elephant, our eyes will go wide. Because the yane is like a very abhurva vastu, which is like, it's very captivating. So if one has to climb the elephant has to bend down. Otherwise, you can never climb the elephant. The elephant has to bend down. Then you can climb on its legs and then climb the elephant. Similarly, if you want to go and attain Sriman Narayana has to come and he has to accept you. And the elephant, it will give the rope to tie itself. Similarly, Emperuman gives bhakti to tie himself. He gives bhakti to his devotees, so the devotees can tie himself. How much ever you clean an elephant, the next second it will come and pour mud on itself. Similarly, Emperuman, even though he is the Suddha Sattva Mayan, that is, he is full of Sattvam, Suddha Sattvam, but he loves the He loves his devotees who are full of all these alukku. So this is especially important here because we've talked about this in the previous time. We've talked about Thiruvenkatam also, where Alvar says where Perumal shows this gunam called Vatsalyam in Thirumalai to Nammalvar. So this gunam Vatsalyam means that's the gunam where the mother cow, it enjoys even the alukku of the calf that it has just given birth to. Like that, Perumal also, he not only does he not reject our sins, but he enjoys them. Little kids, they do all of these things. So he never gets mad. He actually enjoys them. That gunam is called Vatsalyam. So Thiruvenkatamudayan exhibits that gunam called Vatsalyam. And here that is a samyam, or that is an analogy to how the elephants, they throw mud on themselves even after you've given them a complete bath. And if one has to catch an elephant, they have to bring a female elephant. So similarly, if you have to surrender to Sriman Narayana, if you need anything from Sriman Narayana, you have to always approach through Tayar, through Pirati. If somebody tries to approach the elephant without the permission of the Yanai Pagan, it will not accept. The elephant will not accept. Similarly, Emperuman, to teach Emperuman also, one has to go through the Acharyas. Vedam vallargalai kondu vinnor Peruman Tiruppadam panindu, says Nammalvar. So we have to always go to Perumal with the other bhaktas through Acharya and through Pirati. So only the Yanai Pagan understands the language of the elephant. Similarly, Emperuman's Bhashai is understood only by the Acharyas like Tirukachinambi. Yeah, the elephant is completely under the control. Elephant is completely under the control of the Mahout, the Yanai Pagan. So similarly, Emperuman Sriman Narayana, he is also completely under the control of his devotees. An elephant has very long tusks. The long trunk. Similarly, Sriman Narayana is also called Alampurinda Nedundadakkayan. That is, his hands are long, in the sense that he's used to giving all the time. When the elephant consumes food, the food that it spills over, that becomes the food for thousands of ants. Similarly, the food that is offered to Emperuman becomes the food for thousands of his devotees. An elephant is useful even after it passes away. Similarly, even after Narayana leaves back to Sri Vaikuntham, we all enjoy his glories through the Itihasa Puranas. The elephant has only one trunk. Similarly, Sriman Narayana, the Acharyas say that he has only one hand. That is the hand that gives, never takes. The elephant helps the Mahout, the Yanai Pagan, run his life or live his life. The elephant is the reason why he makes a living. Similarly, all of the archakas, the devotees, the people who are dependent on him, Emperuman makes the way for all of them to run their lives. So similarly, all of these examples have been shown by the Acharya called Prativadi Bhayangaram Annangaracharya in the Vyakyanam for this Pasuram in Periya Tirumozhi, where Thirumangai prays to Lord Srinivasa and says, Ennanai vandadaindhen adiyenai aatkondarule. Due to lack of time, Adiyan will stop here, and let us also pray to Thiruvenkatamudayan to bless us with devotion and kaikaryam. And lastly, today is also the Tirunakshatra Mahotsavam of Swami Vedantacharya, Vedanta Desikan. He was born on this auspicious Puratasi Thiruvonam day, so his parents named him Venkatanathan. He composed a work called Daya Satakam on Thiruvenkatamudayan. This stotram celebrates the auspicious quality of mercy, that is Daya, of the Lord of Thiruvenkatam. Swami says that of all the Kalyana Gunas of Venkatadri Shekhara Vibhu, his Daya is the most important one for the upliftment of the Jivatmas. Let us meditate on this great Acharya also and spend the rest of our day. Shriman Venkatanatharya Kavitharkika Kesari Vedantacharya Varyo me Sannidatham Sadahradi. Shriya Khantaya Kalyana Nidhaye Nidhayertinam Shri Venkata Nivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam. Srimat Sundara Jhamatru Munimanasavasine Sarvaloka Nivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam. Mangala Sasana Pharair Madhacharya Puroghamaihi Sarvaischa Purvair Acharyahi Satkృtayastu Mangalam. Arvar Emberumanar Jiyar Thiruvadigalé Sharanam.